Hey guys, and welcome back to ADTV. Today we got another one from George Carlin. We got Saving the Planet. Let's go.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place.
Yep.
Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature.
Leave it alone.
Way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? It was so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's going to save something now. Save the trees, save the bees, save the whales, save those snails. And the greatest arrogance of all, save the planet. What? Are these fucking people kidding me?
Yep, global warming.
We don't even know how to take care of ourselves yet. We gotta learn how to care for one another. We're gonna save the fucking planet? I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired of fucking Earth Day. I'm tired of these self-righteous environmentalists, these white bourgeois liberals who think the only thing wrong with this country is there aren't enough bicycle paths. People trying to make the world safe for their Volvos. Besides, environmentalists don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care about the planet.
That's true.
Not in the abstract, they don't. Not in the abstract, they don't. You know what they're interested in? A clean place to live. Their own habitat. They're worried that someday in the future they might be personally inconvenienced. Narrow, unenlightened self-interest doesn't impress me. Besides, there is nothing wrong with the planet. Nothing wrong with the planet. The planet is fine. The people are fucked. Difference. The planet is fine. Compared to the people, the planet is doing great. It's been here 4.5 billion years. Do you ever think about the arithmetic? Planet has been here 4.5 billion years. We've been here, what, 100,000? Maybe 200,000? And we've only been engaged in heavy industry for a little over 200 years. 200 years versus 4.5 billion. And we have the conceit to think that somehow we're a threat? That somehow we're going to put in jeopardy this beautiful little blue-green ball that's just floating around the sun? The planet has been through a lot worse than us. Been through all kinds of things worse than us. Been through earthquakes, volcanoes, plate tectonics, continental drift, solar flares, sunspots, magnetic storms, the magnetic reversal of the poles, hundreds of thousands of years of bombardment by comets and asteroids and meteors, worldwide floods, tidal waves, worldwide fires, erosion, cosmic rays, recurring ice ages, and we think some plastic bags, some aluminum cans are going to make a difference? The planet.
When you put it like that, it's pretty fucking obvious.
Isn't going anywhere.
Yep.
We are.
Yeah.
We're going away. Pack your shit, folks. We're going away. And we won't leave much of a trace either. Thank God for that. Maybe a little styrofoam. Maybe. Little styrofoam. Planet will be here and we'll be long gone. Just another failed mutation. Just another closed-end biological mistake. An evolutionary cul-de-sac. The planet will shake us off like a bad case of fleas. A surface nuisance. You know how the planet's doing? Ask those people at Pompeii who are frozen into position. From volcanic ash.
Yeah.
How the planet's doing. One of the planets already asked those people in Mexico City or Armenia or 100 other places, buried under thousands of tons of earthquake rubble, if they feel like a threat to the planet this week. Hawaii build their homes right next to an active volcano and then wonder why they have lava in the living room. The planet will be here for a long, long, long time after we're gone, and it will heal itself, it will cleanse itself, because that's what it does. It's a self-correcting system. The air and water will recover, the earth will be renewed, and if it's true that plastic is not degradable, well, the planet will simply incorporate plastic into a new paradigm, the earth plus plastic. The earth doesn't share our prejudice towards plastic. Plastic came out of the earth. The earth probably sees plastic as just another one of its children. Could be the only reason the earth allowed us to be spawned from it in the first place. It wanted plastic for itself. Didn't know how to make it. Needed us. Could be the answer to our age-old philosophical question, why are we here? Plastic. The plastic is here, our job is done, we can be phased out now, and I think that's really started already, don't you? I mean, to be fair, the planet probably sees us as a mild threat, something to be dealt with, and I'm sure the planet will defend itself in the manner of a large organism, like a beehive or an ant colony can muster a defense. I'm sure the planet will think of something. What would you do if you were the planet trying to defend against this pesky, troublesome species? Let's see, what might, viruses. Viruses might be good. They seem vulnerable to viruses.
COVID-19.
Viruses are tricky, always mutating and forming new strains whenever a vaccine is developed. Perhaps this first virus could be one that compromises the immune system of these creatures. Perhaps a human immunodeficiency virus, making them vulnerable to all sorts of other diseases and infections that might come along. And maybe it could be spread sexually, making them a little reluctant to engage in the act of reproduction. Well, that's a poetic note. And it's a start. And I can dream, can't I? Gotta worry about the little things. Bees, trees, whales, snails. I think we're part of a greater wisdom than we will ever understand. A higher order. Call it what you want. You know what I call it? The big electron. The big electron. Whoa. 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 It doesn't punish. It doesn't judge at all. It just is. And so are we. For a little while. Thanks for being here with me for a little while too.
Man, give it up for George, man. Absolute legend, bro. Absolute legend. Good point, yeah. What an amazing comedian, man. Shit. George just comes up with like so much stuff, and like it's all relevant to like what we're going through these days. Like at the end there, like when he was talking about the virus and shit, like I was thinking he was talking about like COVID and shit, but it's just like way back in the day, and he was talking about like AIDS and shit, and that was pretty like that was scary at the time for those people, definitely. But it's just wild how much stuff he says back then that's like still relevant now. That's like I said in like the last video, like it's just crazy how much like stuff was happening back then and then still happens now. Like history repeats itself and stuff. It's like it's so wild, man. But yeah, saving the planet, like yeah, George has got it down. Like all this stuff about saving the planet and all this, like global warming, like we're not really like we can't threaten the earth or nothing like that, you know. And really, it's all just like control mechanisms. Like you see a lot of stuff in the news, but it's all just about restrictions and control. And that's really what George is getting at here, is that they're just like putting these selfish rules out and trying to control people through it, and on the like the terms of doing like a good thing for like the planet. But really, it's like that shit, like all the stuff, the reversing of the magnetic poles and all that stuff. Like that just happens. Like we have no control over that, and like we're just like a tiny little planet. Like what can we do for like, you know, which is small like species, like what can we do to like a massive planet? You know, it's wild was to even like think that it's like so arrogant, and like that's what George is getting at right here, is that we're, even though we think we're so smart and we know everything, like we're really just such a small part of the universe, and we're part of something much bigger than ourselves. And you know, doing all this meddling that we're doing is like none of it's any good. But like, you know, anyway, man, I'm getting lost. I'm getting off track. George gets me starts, rambling and stuff, and I get a bit, into what George is talking about, gets me passionate and start talking about stuff, start rambling. But that was another great one from George Carlin. I mean, if you want me to keep reacting to George, I will do. I've seen a lot of his stuff before. I'm a big fan of George, but if there's any other comedians you want me to react to, just drop a comment down below. I'll be happy to react to and check them out. I've got plenty of other people on my list I want to check out, like Tom Segura, John Mulaney, all these great names in comedy, even like music and stuff as well. I might want to do some musical reactions. So, drop a comment down below. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like. I was so happy with like the video the other day. I saw like I got a few more subscribers and all them likes you guys were dropping down below. I was so happy. So thank you so much for a good start to the channel. And yeah, peace out.